dulcet sounds of David Bowie.
Welcome, Chrononauts.
You want your beer? You want your beer?
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
Fantastic.
You sound
music.
as sexy as I feel.
Woohoo! You're a pothead.
Yeah, I am. See, it says on my shirt. I'm serious. These are my work shirts. They came out. They're like, "Can you guys wear these?" I'm like, they're cool shirts. Yeah.
All the time. As long as you're cool that I wear it to church on Sunday too.
Yeah, Jeremy, if I send you some, will you support me?
No.
Hey man, it's legal. I feel super judged.
All right. We can talk about whatever. I'm going to start the episode and I don't care what we talk about.
We're doing chapter 21 on this one, or?
Thank the light, everyone. I am phoning it the fuck in, and these are my wolf brothers.
Wow. First of all, I just like to say I'm happy to be here. I'm your pretty fly floor white guy, said I.
And I'm going to be your yellow submarine because we have to get a Beatles song stuck in your head pretty much every single week now.
Eleanor Rigby.
I don't even like the Beatles really, but Eleanor Rigby was stuck in my brain. I could not get it out.
Come on, that's a good bit. That's a funny bit.
No, it was great. For once, you were funny.
Oh, ha ha. Oh, ha 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 ha. I carried this pod for you were here on Humor, motherfucker.
That hurt him to this core.
Des just sat here and laughed at my jokes and made me look great. And I had to share some shit with you.
Now it's my turn.
The accidental laughs are the best laughs. I was looking at our listens real quick. Our 30 days is still up. It's weird. Our weekly is going down and our 30 day is going up. I don't know how that math works.
We get one good week a month.
We do have a lot of early episodes are getting listened to. So there's definitely a couple people out there binging on us. So, I mean, that may just be you two reliving your glory days. I don't know.
No, I haven't listened to any old ones, so it's definitely not me.
It's not me.
It's my mom. Yeah, right. My mom will listen to this fucking show.
It might be my mom just to hear. She'd love to hang out with Fatty and me.
Yeah, your mom's super supportive and she loves us, so she would definitely do that.
Yeah.
One of our moms has to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit, it's been a while. It didn't seem like we put this recording off for a terribly long time, but now that we're here, it's been a good 3 weeks.
It only seems like that because I was sitting here at 8 o'clock last week going, where the fuck are these guys?
For once, I'm on time.
I'm on time. Took my updates. I'm ready to go. I got pissed, went outside and had a fire.
Oh, that's funny, man.
I'm surprised you didn't send me an audio file. Just like, here's an hour monologue. Print it.
It wouldn't have been a bad idea. Next time, do that.
Just sit there. I don't know where these guys are. Just waiting for them. Fucking assholes. I guess they're never going to get here. Just blah, 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 blah.
Thank the assholes.
Pretty sure that's how I entertained myself my entire childhood. So blah, 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 blah.
Do you want to know what makes a father proud?
I'd like to know. I've never known.
Yeah, me neither. I never know. I know what makes me proud as a father. You know, I've been proud plenty of times as a father, but
I haven't.
I don't know. As a son, I have no idea.
Sitting across the breakfast table from my 7-year-old son and hear him say, "Thank the light, these pancakes are delicious."
Oh God, my whole heart's gonna explode.
I swear. And I didn't say anything. I'm listening. Because also the best way to shut something down as a parent is to
love it, yeah.
Make a big deal out of it. So I was just like, yeah, these pancakes are pretty good. And inside I'm just like,
great dragons, ghosts they are.
He also called the waiter a goat kissing asshole.
Yeah, I was gonna say when he starts cussing that's gonna be great.
different viewpoints, but that would just make me more proud.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just saying. Waiters are all assholes.
It's fucking Waitron scum. We love you, waiters. Thanks for delivering our food hot and on time.
And bartenders too. I married one. It's okay. It's fine. It's all good. Just jokes. Jokes. Just jokes.
We love you except between 5 and 8 p.m. Then you can all die.
Or when you don't tell me that there's an 8-top that just walked in, or when I just told you there's only 3 fillets left and you fucking order 5, or Sorry, what?
Do you know what? I am so like I raged. Well, I raged all the time as a cook because I was a terrible cook. But at the ale house, when we started getting more and more to-go orders. I'm just like, you're ruining our whole, like, we have 18 tables, and that's what makes this work. When you start ordering to-go orders, and now everything's to go. Like, I went to Black Bear the other day. There was 3 people sitting down. They said, we won't sit you for 15 minutes because we're so backed up on to-go orders.
Whoa.
Like, fuck that, dude.
That's some Cali shit. It ain't like that up here no more.
It's just because, I mean, it's not even about COVID. People are just like, I'll sit on my ass and eat. Like, let's do that.
Yeah. Why the fuck would I want to leave my comfort zone and be around a bunch of assholes? I'm good. Probably brought their screaming fucking kids to brunch because that's a place where babies should be. You know, get fucking no. I'm sorry. It's one of those things, man. It's like, I get it. You haven't been out for 9 months. Let's wait a couple more until you can get a babysitter.
If you guys haven't noticed, these guys used to work in the food service industry. I, on the other hand, have never done that. And I just appreciate people. I appreciate waiters and cooks.
Jeremy has no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
That's right.
Jeremy's like, man, I used to bring my kids to brunch all the time. What's the fucking problem?
Let them go wild.
I'd tip 6% too. What the hell?
Our whole church group, fucking 11:30 on a Sunday.
Yeah, no reservation. 20 of us, 10% tip. What are they bitching about?
Or 30, maybe even 30.
They get a paycheck.
I know you mean 30 people, not 30%.
No, 30 people. 30 people with, and the more people, the percentage starts getting lower.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not going to add any money for that.
There's 30 of us, and can we have separate checks, please?
Yeah.
We need to stop this. We're going to alienate the fuck out of a lot of people. You're like, hey, I do that all the time. What's the fucking problem? You're an asshole.
Yeah, but there's also a dishwasher right now scrubbing plates, listening to our podcast, going, yeah, you fucking tell him. Preach, my brother. Preach.
What is it? It was a Daniel Tosh thing, and he was like, everybody should work a year in the service industry. That way you can figure out that your ranch dressing isn't that fucking important.
Who wants me on their corporate team?
No, don't keep it going.
So, Jeremy, did you have some Wheel of Time news you wanted to talk to Justin about, or did you just want to catch up on some cousin shit?
Yeah, what's going on?
So it's not really news. I've been reading this book. Bam.
I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, shut up, Siri.
She doesn't like that kind of talk, first of all.
She doesn't understand the Wheel of Time, even though every night I sit there and whisper, you need to learn more about the Wheel of Time, Siri. So the book I've been reading is Origins of the Wheel of Time by Michael Livingston. And it's mainly about Robert Jordan. And there's just some cool stuff that I've been finding out. And as I'm going along, maybe I'll just hit it every week.
Like that his maiden name was Eleanor Rigby.
Yeah, that was his maiden name.
Ding!
Page 1.
Hey, Jeremy. Sorry to interrupt you.
So I didn't know this. Did you know that he wrote under 2 other pen names?
No, of course not.
Ruby Tuesday.
And
TGI Friday.
And Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Norwegian Wood. Is it Norwegian Wood?
Norwegian Wood?
Yeah, isn't that a Beatles song? It's something Wood, right?
Norwegian.
I don't know.
Oh, now you got to look it up.
Obla dee, obla da, life goes on, brah.
Jeremy's references suck.
La 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 la, life goes on. Here's some trivia. Norwegian Wood parenthetical what? I'm just gonna leave it blank there for anybody out there who's screaming out loud because they know it, because no one does. Norwegian Wood parentheses, this bird has flown.
Wow. Okay.
I don't even know what we're talking about right now. What's happening?
It's a Beatles song.
Ah.
That you've heard.
I once had a girl, or should I say, she once had me. She showed me her room, isn't it good? Norwegian Wood.
Desmond had a barrow in the marketplace. Molly was a singer in a band.
That's the name of that song?
No, that's the song I was named after.
Slippy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was it. John, Paul, Ringo, and Slippy. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was the fifth Beatle.
Those were the 4 characters on Star Fox. Yep, that's them. I used to love to be Ringo.
Oh, Ringo, these lyrics are beautiful. We're gonna hang them on the fridge where we can see them every day. So yeah, before we totally get off Origins, is it just about his life, like growing up and where?
Yeah, kind of. The first part is about and then it's where he came up with some of his ideas. But one of the things that I thought was really cool was the Matt character. Do you know that he kind of based it off of Norwegian, not Norwegian, Nordic folklore? Now it's got Norwegian in it, yeah. So who do you think it is?
He based it off Norwegian wood.
So think about it.
Odin.
That's one, but he combined a bunch of characters. Odin, Loki, which is obvious, right? Now that you think about it. He said Heimdall as well, but I don't know where he would have got Heimdall.
Because Heimdall has like a battle sense, so he can like kind of see shit.
Is that what it is?
Well, at least in Avengers, he kind of has like, he's got the sight, so he can kind of see shit. And I would say that Matt's kind of like battle acumen is almost something kind of similar, because it's like he's kind of drawing on a memory, and then kind of he can look at the battlefield and kind of watch it all kind of play out. So
yeah, and then he kind of combined all these characters, and then also like the swamp fox from the American Revolution. His name was Francis Marion. He was like a guy that I don't know if he was a general or if he was just like a guy who had led people during the revolution, but it was pretty cool.
He was probably just a guerrilla leader of a small crew of people that just fucking fucked up British shit all the time.
So then I started thinking about it, and so who do I think? I haven't got this far yet. He hasn't started talking about Perrin, but Perrin is obviously built off of Thor, as well as
I'd say Hera too, because she used to ride a wolf, 2-headed wolf into battle or whatever. Like I said, I'm basing it off of like Avengers, kind of what I know of that, but I think it's same mythology, right?
Oh yeah. It's still all the Norse mythology that they came up with for the Thor comic books. I just thought that was pretty cool. Also, did you know that Robert Jordan kind of he held it in his head? It wasn't really a math thing, but he kind of knew where everybody was as far as ranking and how powerful they were in channeling.
That's where all the rankings come from. When you look at the Wikipedia stuff, that's based on like Robert Jordan's kind of like what he.
So that's what I'm getting to. It's not it's kind of what he said, but these guys that were his helpers, they came with a math thing. And so Robert Jordan said that and he also,
it's just a Dungeons and Dragons fucking attribute,
pretty much,
fucking
yeah.
tree.
But Robert Jordan also said that he had a baseline, almost kind of, if you could open a gateway, if you were strong enough to, and that equated to how old you could grow, because the power, your strength and the power also related to how long you would live. So if you could open a gateway,
really?
For a man, you'd live like 500 years, provided you took care of yourself. For a woman, you'd live 550 years. So women get like a little bit longer. They live a little bit longer, but they're usually not as strong, right? So you have to be a much stronger woman in a percentage wise. Like you're going to still be the same as a man probably to open a gateway, but you're going to be at the higher percentage of women. Because does that make sense? Like, so yeah, it's almost like, a men's strength. If you can lift, 50 pounds, like a barbell, curl 50 pounds, you're probably in the mid to low for men, but for women, you'd be high.
Right. That makes sense, kind of, I guess. It's like a brute strength thing.
In the before times, was it probably a little more equal?
I don't think so.
Because men are so rare now, it would make sense that only the extra strong ones would break through and survive.
No, actually, it's the opposite, because the women, that's why it's went out in the women, because they're weaker in it and like they can't do it. And so it kind of, they gradually learned, like they stopped learning how to travel.
There's a scene that you'll get to when I think it's book 4 or 5. I think it's 5. One of the Forsaken is talking to Rand, and he explains to him that men are generally more stronger in the power. And he was like, "What? No, that's not what I heard." And he's like, "No, that's how it is. Men are generally more powerful."
Did Robert Jordan have a horse farm?
I think he did have
horses.
I don't know if it's a horse,
but he had horses.
I think he did.
I think so.
That sounds right.
The way he writes about horses, I'm like, that dude has horse experience. He's not just writing.
He kind of grew up kind of poor, but maybe as he got older, he might have had one.
Dude, he grew up in like Virginia? They probably had fucking plow horses and shit. If they were, I mean, who knows what they did for a living, but
he at least had a donkey or a pony.
Yeah. His wife grew up kind of, I wouldn't say rich, but she came from money, And like as she got older, she was very smart and like worked her way up in like companies and was doing very well and decided she wanted to actually, I think her mom died and she wanted to keep the house that the family had. It's like this like generations of old houses that the women in the family owned. So she went, like she was living in New York working for like a publishing company. She decided to quit, bought her siblings out of the house, and then that's where they lived. And I don't know if they had another house where I seem to remember him saying that they did have a ranch.
If you got a house that's been around for 200 years, you got horse barns.
Right. So he would write in a carriage house, like an old carriage house.
Oh, no way.
Yes. So that's where he wrote his stuff. Yeah. It's a really cool book. Like learning about his growing up. Like he went to Vietnam. He did 2 tours of Vietnam.
That I did know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He was a dude. He was a dude and very intelligent. He got his degree in engineering from the Citadel.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's no joke.
And he was working for the government, making really good money. And he was like, I'm gonna write. And just like decided, I have these ideas and I'm gonna go do it.
And thank God that he did.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of time, the Wheel of Time.
The Wheel of Time. Today we're going to talk about The Dragon Reborn, Chapter 21, A World of Dreams. So we are going to, I don't think we actually go into the World of Dreams. This is just Gwen. Sorry, I'm guessing. Learning about it. So this is them kind of talking about it. So this kind of helped answer. I mean, you guys have answered most of my questions, but this, hearing it in canon is like, okay, this is what.
It's her and Varen, right?
Yeah.
And this is where she becomes a Dreamweaver. Insert Dreamweaver right here.
Dream Beaver, yes. No, wait, that's a weed strain. Dream Beaver.
And I think we get a good Angriel discussion in this because she.
Oh, very cool.
Because she's going into Telling Riyadh, she is very
Terangriel then.
Terangriel.
Don't get me started.
Don't push him too far, Jeremy. He'll just quit.
I've watched 1 season and I am 1 book and 3 chapters in. Okay, don't start correcting me.
No, he's 2 books and 3 chapters in.
Oh yes, sorry. You finished. Yes.
Give him some fucking credit for real.
Sorry.
I'm 30 chapters in.
I'm halfway through the 6th book.
Oh, good job.
Thank you. I was waiting for that.
I'm so tired of reading.
What you mean listening?
This is no longer a show podcast. It's a book podcast. But once I get over that, then I'll figure out how to promote this as for what it is, not for what I want it to be.
We'll just have to start chapter by chapter. Jeremy and I will we'll get here. We'll get dressed up just from the tits up so you can see us, and we'll just act out every chapter until the show comes out.
There we go. And we're gonna change the name of the show to Story Time with Dez.
Fatty and Jeremy get Dez through the Wheel of Time because he hates reading. No, Dez, you don't understand. It's hella cool because of this. Oh, I hate it here.
Desmond, if you don't quit stopping us every other sentence and asking us what's Telling Riyadh? What's an Angriel? What's the difference between an Angriel and a Saw Angriel? What the Oh, now there's Tar Angriels? Eat a dick. The Dragon Reborn, Chapter 21, A World of Dreams, 330.
Her gesture took in the entire room and reminded her of the page she held. Fascinating, this. Roselle of Essam claimed more than 100 pages survived the breaking, and she should have known, since she wrote barely 200 years afterwards. But only this one piece still exists, so far as I know. Perhaps only this very copy. Roselle wrote that it held secrets the world could not face, and she would not speak of them plainly. I have read this page 1,000 times, trying to decipher what she meant. What does it say? It is a direct translation, mind, and reads almost like a bard reciting in high chant. Listen. Heart of the Dark. Baalzamon. Name hidden within name, shrouded by name. Secret buried within secret, cloaked by secret. betrayer of hope. Ishmael betrays all hope. Truth burns and sears. Hope fails before truth. A lie is our shield. Who can stand against the heart of the dark? Who can face the betrayer of hope? Soul of the shadow, he is... She stopped with a sigh. It ends there. What do you make of it? I don't know, Egwene said. I do not like it. Well, why should you, child? Like it or understand it? I have studied it nearly 40 years, and I do neither. But you did not come for that. Here, child. Everything that is known about Leandrin and the women who went with her. Names, ages, ajas, where they were born. Everything I could find in the records. Even how they performed in their studies. What we know of the ter'angreal they took, too, which isn't much. Only descriptions for the most part. I do not know whether any of this will help. I saw nothing of any use in this. Perhaps one of us will see something. A sudden wave of suspicion took Egwene by surprise. If she didn't leave something out. That list I gave you may be important, or it may be so much waste of paper. But it isn't the only reason I summoned you. I understand from Anaya that you might become a dreamer. The last was Corianin Nadil, 473 years ago, and from what I can make of the records, she barely deserved the name. It would be quite interesting if you do. She tested me, Varen said I, but she couldn't be sure that any of my dreams foretold the future. That is only part of what a dreamer does, child. Perhaps the least part. With one finger, Varen drew a number of parallel lines across the area she had cleared, lines clear and dust atop the old beeswax. Let these represent worlds that might exist if different choices had been made, if major turning points in the pattern had gone another way. The worlds reached by the portal stones, Egwene said. What could this possibly have to do with whether or not she was a dreamer? Very good. But the pattern may be even more complex than that, child. The wheel weaves our lives to make the pattern of an age, but the ages themselves are woven into the age lace, the great pattern. Who can know if this is even the 10th part of the weaving, though? Some in the Age of Legends apparently believe that there were still other worlds, even harder to reach than the worlds of the portal stones, if that can be believed, lying like this. She drew more lines, cross-hatching the first set. For a moment she stared at them, the warp and the woof of the weave. Perhaps the Wheel of Time weaves a still greater pattern from worlds. In all of these worlds, whatever their other variations, a few things are constant. One is that the Dark One is imprisoned in all of them. In all of them? How can that be? Are you saying there is a father of lies for each world? No, child. There is one creator who exists everywhere at once for all of these worlds. In the same way, there is only one Dark One who also exists in all of these worlds at once. If he is freed from the prison the creator made in one world, he is freed on all. So long as he is kept prisoner in one, he remains imprisoned on all. That does not seem to make sense, Egwene protested. Paradox, child. The Dark One is the embodiment of paradox and chaos, the destroyer of reason and logic, the breaker of balance, the unmaker of order. Varen, said I, what does this have to do with being a dreamer? The Dark One is bound in Shael Ghul, and I do not want to even think of him escaping, but the seals on his prison are weakening. Even novices know that now. Do with being a dreamer? Why, nothing, child, except that we must all confront the Dark One in one way or another. He is prisoned now, but the pattern did not bring Rand al'Thor into the world for no purpose. The dragon Reborn will face the Lord of the Grave. That much is sure. If Rand survives that long, of course. The Dark One will try to distort the pattern if he can. We have gone rather far afield, haven't we? Forgive me, Varen, said I, but if this has nothing to do with being a dreamer, why are you telling me about it? Varen stared at her as if she were deliberately being dense. Nothing? Of course it has something to do with it, child. The point is that there is a third constant besides the Creator and the Dark One. There is a world that lies within each of these others, inside all of them at the same time, or perhaps surrounding them. Writers in the Age of Legends called it Telaran Riod, the unseen world. Perhaps the world of dreams is a better translation. Many people, ordinary folk who could not think of channeling, sometimes glimpse Telaran Riod in their dreams, and even catch glimmers of these other worlds through it. Think of some of the peculiar things you have seen in your dreams. But a dreamer, child, a true dreamer, can enter Telaran Riod. Enter it? I don't think I am a dreamer, Varen said I. Anaya Sedai's tests, Varen cut her off, prove nothing one way or the other. And Anaya still believes that you may very well be one. I suppose I will learn whether I am or not eventually, Egwene mumbled. Light, I want to be, don't I? I want to learn. I want it all. You have no time to wait, child. The Amerlin has entrusted a great task to you and Nynaeve. You must reach out for any tool you might be able to use. Varen dug a red wooden box from under the welter on her table. The box was large enough to hold sheets of paper, but when the Aes Sedai opened the lid a crack, all she pulled out was a ring carved from stone, all flecks and stripes of blue and brown and red, and too large to be a finger ring. Here, child. The ring certainly looked like stone, but it felt harder than steel and heavier than lead. And the circle of it was twisted. If she ran a finger along one edge, it would go around twice, inside as well as out. It only had one edge. She moved her finger along that edge twice, just to convince herself. Corianin Nadil, Varen said, had that ter'angreal in her possession for most of her life. You will keep it now. I am to keep a ter'angreal? According to her, it eases the passage to Telaran Riod. She claimed it would work for those without talent as well as for Aes Sedai, so long as you are touching it when you sleep. There are dangers, of course. Telaran Riod is not like other dreams. What happens there is real. You are actually there, instead of just glimpsing it. She pushed back the sleeve of her dress, revealing a faded scar the length of her forearm. I tried it myself once, some years ago. Anaya's healing did not work as well as it should have. Remember that. The Aes Sedai let her sleeve cover the scar again. I will be careful, Varen Sedai. Real? My dreams are bad enough as they are. I want no dreams that leave scars. I'll put it in a sack and stick it in a dark corner and leave it there. But she wanted to learn. She wanted to be Aes Sedai, and no Aes Sedai had been a dreamer in nearly 500 years. I'll be very careful. She slipped the ring into her pouch and tugged the drawstrings tight, then picked up the papers Varen had given her.
So what we just figured out is Corianin Adil is the Count Dooku of of the Wheel of Time because she went through the archives and got rid of all of the Twisted Stone Ring, Terangriel stuff. Like Count Dooku went and got rid of what was the name? Not Mustafar. What was the planet where the clones were done? Justin, this is where you're supposed to. You microphone.
Kameno! Sorry. I'm sitting here screaming it. I'm like, Kameno! For fuck's sake, why are you listening to me?
Your wife's in the other room going, the cloning planet! Shut up!
The fish guys with the long necks.
Why do I know that?
And so we figure out that Egwene gets her Hogwarts invite from Varen. Varen still has her owl from Hogwarts, which is cool.
Yeah. Even after she graduated from Hogwarts so many years ago.
Yeah, long time ago. She taught Tom Riddle.
Every time that they say dreamer, I hear this song too.
You know I'm a dreamer, but my heart's of gold. I had to run away high, so I wouldn't come home low.
I'm on my way.
Des knows his butt rock.
Home
This is my wife's it's one of my wife's favorite songs, actually.
I love that song. It's a great song.
She was in love with Vince Neil.
Who wasn't?
I wasn't.
I have seen Motley Crue in concert more than any other band.
Really? I don't know, but your joke sucked because it had no payoff.
You just didn't like the payoff. You're just jealous of Vince Neil.
No, I liked it. You just didn't play the song. So, Desmond, we're going to have to fix that in post.
Oh,
No, I
yeah.
did play. You guys couldn't hear it?
No.
Oh man, I was playing. I could hear it totally.
Oh, well, that's good for you. The guy who said the joke. I'm glad you could hear it. That was great.
Hey guys, I was hilarious. I don't know if you know that.
I don't know. I was having a great time.
Oh, why can't I think of any other Motley Crue songs? Oh my god, I'm terrible. That's when the
Dr.
Feel Good. That's the one that makes me feel all right. I'm the one that called Dr. Feel
Smoking
Good.
in the boys' room?
Oh, that was good. That wasn't their song though. We can't give them too much credit for that.
Yeah, that's not their song.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Jamestown, James.
They have a cool name. It's
Oh, this is gonna be.
The Magnificent Seven.
Des, you got to make yourself sound really cool. Hold on, when you say it,
Originally written by Brownsville Station.
Brownsville Station. No, it's not that cool then.
Not as cool as we made it out to be.
Oh man, let's make it something better.
So yeah, I love hearing about the best part of this is the Dark One imprisoned in all the worlds. There's one creator, there's one Dark One. So here's my question. I mean, this is the question, Jeremy. You're a good church going boy. That means that the creator created the Dark One. Eh?
Yeah, I would assume so.
He balanced his own scales, or
But that doesn't mean that he did it on purpose. It could have been an accident. Could have been.
They don't really go into that as far as the mythology. It might have been to where they were both there at the same time.
True, because whatever Big Bang the creator came out of, there's an equal and opposite force.
And that's kind of Robert Jordan's thing. Everything is balance.
Yeah. Well, and he was have you gotten into did he personally have a religion he leaned into?
Yeah. I think he was Presbyterian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he was old school.
Yeah.
Was he raised Presbyterian or was he a practicing?
No, he converted because his wife was.
Oh.
That's as far as I've gotten. But then they would.
That's not Presbyterian. That's horny.
You can be both.
God made sex, man. It's okay.
That's right. That's right.
And she tells me you're Jewish. Just the good half.
I do gotta say, being on my other podcast, Time Pop, anytime the word paradox comes up, I get really excited. That's pretty much all we talk about on the other podcast is the paradox that come up because of, and I think that's the creator and the dark one, the creator creating the dark one, and the third constant. So there's the light and the dark and the dream, which is an interesting tripod because that would lead me to believe that
The dream is something to do with a pattern, right? Like it's the overarching pattern.
Yeah, I
is
think
the way I
so.
looked at it. Like if it's like the like if you were inside of if you're looking at the pattern like it's a clock, and then you were to go into it, and then telling Riyadh is where all the gears are. I mean, obviously it's figurative, but it's like the guts of the pattern is where.
You think telling Riyadh is deeper? Oh, I was thinking of zooming out, but you're right. Telling Riyadh would be more of a microscopic view of you could see each string, because when you step back, you just see the earth.
And that's why when you die there, you're dead. And like that's why when the wolves die there, they're gone forever, because then they're gone from the pattern.
Have you guys seen Quantum Mania?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh,
Is it good?
You guys just brought my conversation to a screeching halt. They go into like it based on the conversation we're having. The quantum realm is telling Riyadh.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Like they go.
Oh, that's
deep.
the new Ant-Man movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the last one with the fucking. I dig it, dude. I'm into it.
Yeah, Ant-Man's awesome. Okay, I'm sorry again, screeching halt, but at least so we can talk about Wheel of Time.
Let's do it.
There's three types of Angreals. Are they separated based on strength? Are they separated based on who made them?
Hold on.
I got 27 more questions.
Des. Okay, you tell us the three different types and tell us what you think that they do.
Angreal is more of your standard run-of-the-mill multiplier. Based on the chapter we just listened to, a Tar Angreal is one that can only be used in Tel and Riyadh. And a Saw Angreal is so powerful it can only be wielded by super powerful Aes Sedai.
Here's what I'm gonna break this down to you, and you should be able to like relate it to this. You're okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna stare at Jeremy and watch his head shake.
What?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Asshole. So you played RPGs, right?
Yes.
RPGs. An Angreal is like a +1 to whatever that Angreal does. It's more power you can draw. Some of them have specific uses that will help you, but those usually start to slide into the Tur Angreal category.
It's a +1 to everything.
Yeah. Angreal is like just a +1 to your overall power. Just it's a plus. You got a +5 to your fire magic, your air magic, everything.
I can last longer and shoot farther.
Yes.
Exactly. Maybe more.
Oh, I get jokes. Now I get it.
Oh, he's here now. Finally. 5 minutes later. We had to edit that. No, and then a Tur Angreal is like, okay, this is a +5 to your piercing attacks, and this is a +5 to going into the dream world.
Okay.
This is a +5 to flying, or this, if you had 0 in flying and now you can fly. They're much more specific uses, and they range in power and in size.
So I can either last longer or shoot farther with the Tur Angreal.
Yeah, or a Tur Angreal, you can have like porno dreams. Like I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm losing the analogy. But then a Saw Angreal is like, your mithril armor. It's the best. It's a +20 to everything again. Like Angreal and Saw Angreal are more closely related. Tur Angreals are kind of their own thing.
I was looking at it like this, Des. Like if you're talking about power and strength. So say you're normally you can bench press 200 pounds.
Putting a supercharger on your car.
Yeah, or putting a supercharger on your car. But like say normally because you're talking about a person, you can only bench press 200 pounds. You can hold this thing in your hand. Now you can bench press 350 pounds. But then you have the Saw Angreal, and now you can bench press 1,000 pounds.
Or 10,000 pounds, depending on the Saw Angreal, because they can be very powerful.
Yeah, and so the Angreal will increase Sa'angreal is even more
Terangreal is specific.
specific. It does a thing.
Almost always. Terangreals can be used by people who can't channel as well.
Some.
Some of them. Some of them. Not all. Some of them.
So am I right to say that like a Sa'angreal couldn't be wielded by anybody because
Only
of the
people
power?
that can use the power, and usually it's specific to males and females.
But if you're weak to the power, you can use a Sa'angreal without blowing yourself
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Well, the thing is if you don't have enough self-control, you might kind of freak out because you've never been able to channel that much before.
But we've
You've
talked
been
about
like,
this.
It's holy shit, you know. That's kind of what happens at the end of the first season with Homegirl when she starts drawing in. It's the same idea. Like she could get that amount of power if she had the right Sa'angreal.
Okay.
And she might kind of be like,
And she
holy
might
shit, and
OD.
burn herself out. That basically, for lack of a better connection to real world, yep, that's it. No Aes Sedai Narcan today.
But there's also usually a buffer built in, because remember, Des, you'd look that up for Angreal and Sa'angreal, and they build in a buffer into the, so like you can't pull too much. Now I think there are certain ones, and I think the Chodan Call are like this, right, Justin, where you can pull in as much as you want. If
There's
you
no
want
buffer on that one. You can pull the world in on itself. Nope, you can destroy fucking everything. That's why they hit him, basically, because when they figured out what they made, they separated the access keys and the actual Chodan Call because they scared each other. It was like, you know, Cold War Russia, like, oh shit, yeah, we got bombs. Yeah, we do too, but we probably shouldn't use them because there won't be anything left. Also, people who can't channel, like the ring, correct me if I'm wrong, you don't have to channel. You just need to have that shit around your neck, touching your skin. You'll go to Tel and Riyadh. Boom. And even if you can't channel there, even if you can't channel when you're there, you could basically make it like you can channel if your force of will is strong enough. Perrin does shit that even people who can channel can't do when he's there because he's so strong and his force of will. Like he just goes boop and like unravels balefire with his palm, like Vader with the blaster bolts. Like it's if you have enough skill there and you spend enough time, you can do just about anything there.
Yeah, there's actually, in the later books, there's a certain person who loses the ability to channel, and she can use that twisted stone ring to get into Tel and Riyadh.
Yep.
So right now, it makes me wonder, like, when did Robert Jordan know the full arc of Varen? You'll come to find that Varen is a very cool character, but she does things. I think that it's all her, in my opinion, because she is a very cool character, but she does things for the light, but she will do whatever it takes also. And so she'll break rules, she'll push it, and she'll do things that you would think that are probably immoral.
Yeah, she's prepared to kill another character who can channel later in the books, who is very much on Rand's on the light side, but Varen's not sure of it, and she is prepared to fucking kill her straight away. Like she goes to a meeting prepared to kill this person, and then she's like, "Oh, I think you're good, so we're good."
Pretty cool. She's a really cool character, and I wish you could ask Robert Jordan, like, so you probably left her character intentionally vague in the beginning, just because you didn't know which way that she was going to go. Maybe he did know, but I think he's less like George Lucas, where he says like, oh, I knew from the beginning that, this was going to be this was going to, and you go back and you're like, that's not true. You can see he still has his original drafts. You didn't know how things were going to go. But Robert Jordan, I think that he would be like, no, I didn't know how it was going to go, but then I started writing it, and then I went this way, and that's how I liked it. It was another interesting thing in the book. He would rewrite things like up to 30 times, chapters, like just over and over and over and over again. And sometimes they would sound a lot alike, and then sometimes they'd be completely different. It was really cool.
Varen's definitely one of my favorite characters. She's great all the way through. You can see sometimes her ditziness kind of slips, and you can see that she's not at all ditzy. Her fucking, that is a fucking facade, 100%. The last thing I was gonna say. Do you think that Varen knows that they're about to come and get her to take her? We're gonna find out in the next chapter. Egwene walks out of here, and Shiriam grabs her and takes her to get tested. Do we think that Varen knew about that?
Probably. Yeah, I would guess she probably did.
Because Varen hands her that stack of papers about the Black Aja.
And then she has to hide it. Remember, she puts her clothes on top of it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe she probably knew that they were going to come get her, just not right then, or else she probably wouldn't have given it to her. She would be like,
Yeah, I think because if you know, one of the things that you do find out is that Shiriam ultimately wants Egwene to succeed. I think. Do you not think that?
ultimately?
I think that you kind of don't know her motives right now.
You said Shiriam.
Ultimate.
You meant
Oh, I meant
Varen.
Varen. I'm sorry. Shiriam comes to get Egwene right after she leaves Varen's study. As I punch my mic.
Yeah.
Well, this is all good shit, and we're gonna come back to this a lot, trying to figure out. I think I like that even. Well, no, I don't like it more. I like it equally. Because either A, we talk about what's gonna make it into the show, or B, we talk about, or you guys mostly talk about shit that somehow Robert Jordan didn't get to, which I find fascinating. When you're like, I wonder if she's this, I'm like, we don't find out. Like, how do we not know? So like,
there's 15 books.
I know, really. Jesus Christ.
Well,
We need to look up
books
some-
and 2 compendiums.
We need to look up some there's got to be some good fan fiction. That's not, we can all imagine what it would be like when they have their eyes wide shut party, but like actual good fan fiction where people expand on the ideas that Robert Jordan wrote down.
There is totally good. There's three fan fictions. It's called A Memory of Light. It's called the last 3 books are written by Brandon Sanderson.
And oh my God, you're right.
Hey, in the truest sense of the word, it's fan fiction.
Okay. As in with a lot of fan fiction, it's better than the original sometimes. Oh, that was a shot at Jeremy, not Eleanor
Sick
Rigby.
burn.
Wow.
See you guys next week.
Oh, and everyone, don't panic, because if you're following along with us, you're going to be like, how the fuck did they just jump over chapter 22 and 23? We're going to come back
We're skipping 3 chapters.
because next week we're going to just talk all about Egwene, and it's going to equal about a month worth of releases. So we're going to jump over it, and next week we're going to be talking about Matt's battle. And you know what we need to do, Justin? While
We're going to revisit Matt's little fresh after healing scrum.
and I'm going to find out this is the second time we've talked about this chapter. So I'll put it in the notes if I can't remember fast enough to put it in the show. So if you guys want to double down on Matt, because Jeremy was not with us yet, and I had no fucking idea what was going on. So this will be a totally different conversation.
Exactly. I was saying to Lisa, I was like, I'm really excited actually for this episode because Desmond didn't have any fucking clue what I was talking about. He was like, well, that's pretty cool. I don't know who these fucking assholes are. Seems fun. But then, and Jeremy wasn't here. So.
It was probably like episode 10 too, because you were just like, you got to know more about Matt. This guy's rad. Listen how rad he is. I was just like, okay.
Trust me, he doesn't suck and leave his friends.
Yeah, that's true.
He's still kind of a jerk, though.
He doesn't call his kids a baby killer or his friends a baby killer.
We might not even have known why Matt wasn't in the last 2 episodes yet. We might have been super guessing. Thank the light. Thank you for listening to our podcast. Tell a friend. Tell an enemy. Tell the stranger at the bus stop about our show. And while you're at it, give us a review. We'd love to hear from you. You're listening to our show. Some of you apparently like our show. Why don't you tell other people, tell the algorithms that you like our show. That's where it really counts. But we love you just the same. Check us out on Twitter. We are Wolf Brothers at Parseilman. That is Wolf Brothers at Parseilman. And send us questions, comments about the show. We talk a lot about ourselves. If you want to know more about ourselves, feel free to just ask us about that. We'll talk about us. Thankthelight@gmail.com. That is thankthelight@gmail.com. If you're looking for another great podcast to listen to while you wait for the next episode, head on over to whatsoundsawesome.com and check out our great podcast lineup. We have an awesome podcast lineup. And in about a month, 4 to 6 weeks, we're going to be doing kind of a group Sounds Awesome network recording. And we will release that on this feed along with some other feeds so you can actually hear from some of the other hosts from Time Pop, from All the Answers, from Truth Not Trends. Hopefully we will get a Be Brave and a That Fitness couple quick drop in, but we will definitely, I'm going to get the crew here so we can also introduce ourselves to those podcasts. Until then, you can find them at whatsoundsawesome.com or wherever you find fine, free podcast. On that note, just remember, this podcast is just like Hey Jude. It repeats itself, but at least it goes on forever.
But we also dedicate it to John Lennon's kid. The good one, too. The good one, not the other one.
We gotta stop. Like I said, I go, oh, my Yoko's giving me double burn. She's like, man, fuck you. You call me Yoko? She's like, you ain't no John Lennon.
Well, that's a problem. You never let your wife listen to this podcast. Never let her listen.
You give me double birds, you're Yoko.
And on that note,
Believe it or not, Yoko.
Double bird?
I'm not John Lennon. See you next week.
I'm the Pete Best of this show, though. I'm the Ringo, because you guys pulled me in last.
Yeah, we kicked Pete Best out.
That's right.
Pete Best is gone. All right, you guys want to see some shit?
I am not average, I am not ordinary, I am a masterpiece. You know I do it for me. I am not perfect, no, that's imaginary, but I'm a masterpiece. You know I do it for me. And all my colors and paints, all my lines and my shapes, every move that I make, I am not basic, it's self-explanatory. I am a masterpiece. You know I do it for me. Just the way I like it, yeah.
You're like Rand sees the power and opened a gateway, and in the background, so.
Mixed and edited by Desmond McNeese for We Mixed It, LLC. Go to whatsoundsawesome.com.
You better lower your expectations, buddy.